What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day. Sorry I'm late. I forgot the ARCA race was today. But we're here, guys. Let me turn on the NASCAR app real quick. Get that all set up here. Just give me 1 second to get it all set up. Then we'll get into talking about the race here. Appreciate CeeLo sharing it out. It's awesome. Thank you, CeeLo. Thanks for the support. Give me 1 second to get this set up. I do not know if it started yet. I think it might be on Flow Racing, actually. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, chat. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for being here. Sorry, we're a little bit late. Forgot I was supposed to do ARCA today. Honestly, forgot it was today. But we're here. Oh, it starts at 12:30. We got a few minutes. I'm on time, guys. Never mind. We're good. It just starts at 12:30. So, a few minutes from here now will be the ARCA race. Should be a good show, hopefully. Hopefully a good race. Thank you, CeeLo, for sharing out the stream on your Discord. Appreciate it. Let's get your picks in the chat, guys. Let me know who do you have winning the race today. Few minutes from now here, guys. See if we have any racing news to talk about here. Like to see Jinkawiak win. Yeah, that would be cool. I'm not sure who's in this race, actually. We'll have to see who's right in this race, and then I'll let you guys know my picks. Andy J. Ooh, Andy J would be cool if he can have a good run today. Yeah, Andy Jinkawiak. He's a cool guy. Yeah, I didn't know him for a long time. Well, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna plug in my AC. It's a little warm in my room. All right, guys, I'm back. 12:25, guys. Race starts at 12:30. If you guys didn't hear what I said, for Time 150 Kansas Speedway, definitely should be a pretty interesting race. We'll see who can pick up the win. 150 laps, I'm pretty sure. The total distance should definitely be a pretty good race. Looking forward to it. I'm trying to. All right, guys. Hopefully, we're back now. I don't know what was going on there with the stream. James Pickering will start 12th. Maples will roll off 11, starting in the 12th position in the car of Alex Club. Ninth, it's going to be Takuma Kloba and ability. Rabova. Everyone left pit road except for her. She's getting a push from Jake. Will start in seventh. Kitchen after the end will start sixth with Gates and Metz Michelle leaning right to its row off fourth. Jake Bubble and fourth. Gilbert Joe starting the outside of the front row. And Jack Wood will lead the field to green or practice rained out yesterday. The mile and a half D-shaped oval right here at the start finish line. Some banking, some room to go 2-3 wide, and then they race into turn number 1 and 2 in front of Elk Seaton. Making the assumption degrees on the bottom of the racetrack, aggressive of 20 degrees against the white zipper barrier. Really going to be the challenge when they with their third way through to the course. They exited to turn number 2. When it's coming off of turn number 1 and 2 and just shooting across turn number 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, much of the same of turn number 1 and 2. Bottom is 20 degrees off top to utilize every single inch of this racetrack to find the right groove and the right position for them to make passes. One disc is going to hamper them a little bit as they come into the corner, making their way off of turn number 4 when they have the tailwind. And they go to the front stretch. Good on the racetrack right now, protecting their pace and parade wraps. What's in the pitches excitement? The practice session yesterday, a lot of drivers and a lot of young drivers got a lot of laps. So pitches their first lap out of 1.5 Speedway was welcome for a lot of the teams to prepare for some races down the road or here at Kansas. Some of them got qualified and some of them were glad they got started on the pace. Young kids climbing the ranks here in ARCA. A lot of dreamers and pit road and young women and men making careers here. Dude making their way down pit lane behind the Toyota pace car. Cloudless day here in Kansas Speedway. It was rough getting into Kansas yesterday. At a small line. Because Todd was the first one on the ground. They flew in early in the afternoon. Threw it severe tornadoes and that since blew through, but breaking in a cold front that lowered the temperature from in the upper 80s. This morning is 36 degrees. Right now it's 50 degrees there at Kansas. It's a big deal. Talking about air numbers 200 miles per hour. Doing 200 not quite there, but if you have a 20 miles per tailwind, then you're only seeing 180 miles per of downforce. A little bit less than what they usually get, but it's the 30% deduction. The car is really edgy and doesn't have a lot of force in the car. Number three, you're doing a 200 miles per hour. Now you have see 220 miles per hour. You have a lot more downforce pushing on the car. When it makes a big difference on the balance getting into turn one. Got a what a more interesting. It's not a bullet down inside the or once the air gets inside the race car, it blows and blows and blows. That's what they see every time here at Kansas. Fizz getting the one to go signal here. They'll go green one time more time around. Later tonight we'll have Rally Auto Parts Series and Cup Series practice and qualifying for Cup. Then after practicing qualifying for Cups, we'll have the NASCAR Rally Auto Parts Series. So since the junior made their way to the pit area here, New Jersey native just sitting there. She's having a conversation in the driver's window net. Not sure if it's a radio issue or not. He's able to pull away though and grab a green flag with the rest of the field. Field's wind up, double wide behind the safety car. It's gonna be a 150 lap race. Favorite coming in is the postseater team pinnacle race groups. They swept both races here at Kansas with Butterbean Queen. Jack Wood takes the green to this race car. Team has also done some winning in the ARCA MENARD East. The few races out. This will be actually the last time this race at this track. And he did a dominated performance green to green. Or green to checkered. You're gonna have Geo championship point leader coming into Jake Bowman. Gonna have to deal with them and a whole host of other drivers as well to grab the checkered flag here in the Tide 150. Race number 3 for the ARCA MENARD Series National Tour. The ARCA pace car lights are off. Gonna make it to pit lane. We get started for the started race. Pace cars on the pit lane, inching closer and closer to the waving of the green flag. Green flag is out. Jack Wood is underway. He grabbed the lead and pulled away with the calling in the process into turn number one. He'll take the Chevrolet as to the bottom of the racetrack. Fight is on for second. Wheel to wheel off of turn number two. Joe is on the outside of the battle coming off of turn number two. Jack Wood continuing to pull away. Five car lengths. They work their way up to turn number three and four for the first time. Joe Bajero getting back to the second spot. His finger got the bowed. White Toyota grab trick the third. Jake Baldwin. No right there for the second spot. For the back, we have a battle for third. Jake Baldwin is winning Westing and Timmy Acciato all starting to fight hard for the third position. Middle part of the racetrack. He got Nacino right behind him. Messiano and Toyota right behind the Chevrolet. Working the way off the turn number two. Back in turn number three and four. This time it's Nishiyano goes middle part of the groove to the corner for the back because Michelle taking a peek to the inside of the corner, not being able to make the deal happen. Will fall in single foul now. Jack Wood leads by two calling. The lead that Jack Wood had over Gio Virginia to three calling over Jake Bowman leading Bowman and Giuliano. The top five for the lead starting to heat up now. Gio Virginia had a good run off of turn number two. Looks to the Trevor's left side of the nose of Wood right at the bottom of the track, maintaining the race lead. Gio is right there in the tire tracks. So right there way off of turn number two, four, and heading to turn number one. Gio little faster than the race leader, but they're both running the bottom of the track to turn number one and two. Jack Wood has Gio breathing down the racetrack T-type, comes up to turn number two, right on back straight away into turn number three and four. Two car lake and finish. Rachel, the first to jump on left side, tires on the right line at the bottom of the racetrack. They already taken the car to the pit lane and making its way to the ARCA MENARD garage at lap four. Jake Wood lead. Laning Bites running in the fourth spot right now with Thomas Acciato running up the top five. Leadership on the backstretch. Better starting to shape up in the second spot. Bowman gets a pretty good run, pushing down Gio and his teammate. Right now, about four car like separation. All three are the top three. They're closing in on some of the back moppers. Today's Brad Smith will be the first one in jeopardy of going well lapped out here. First car that the race leader will cut to the outside into turn number one. Gio will do the same. So will Jake Bowman in the third spot. Next slip race for him. It will keep Bowman. He also grabbed for the second spot. That allowed Gio to make up some ground here. The leader, two cars in separation between the two. With that car right in front of them, leader to further back now racing for the position. Gavin Michelle making moves. Oh, how about Die now swinging to the inside of the racetrack, making a pass on Jason Kissmaker, losing Kissmaker to rest of left Gavin Michelle. And also racing with Jay the opposition. They're racing into the corner. They head into the biggest number one. Looks like it's gonna be Gavin Michelle who's riding the high side of the corner. Michelle goes to the high side because Miller stays in the middle groove and allows them to go nose and tail off the back straightaway side by side into the corner with lap traffic directly in front of the leader. They're right their way through. Battle for the 8th and 9th position. Kissing Kissmaker in second in the championship point standings. One of his better racetracks here, Kansas Speedway. He's in jeopardy of losing the position. Michelle going to the outside around Jason Kissmaker. Gave off addition about two calling behind Kissmaker. Both of them running the middle over the racetrack. Kissmaker trying to get regrouped on the worked off the corner. His exit off the corner not as great as his entry going into number three. He'll go to the high part of the racetrack. Bottom part of the racetrack. Here comes Lydion up down to the bottom. Leader's coming off a turnover bar. Putting a lap. Another lap on the scoreboard. Jack Wood overhauling several cars. Passing three in one set of corners. Two for the lead heads to three. More lap traffic right in front of him. They go to the bottom of the racetrack. Allows the outside of Jack Wood to take over the spot. Allows them to open more of the advantage. About 5 cars back to second place for Jero. Lemon Ryan going on the board on the 100 to make up the tie 150 for the ARCA MENARD series. Jack Wood is the race leader. Jack Wood, Jericho, Jake Bubble, and Laney and Bison. General Dyer, the top five here, and lap number 11. They're in the commercial right now, but when we come back, I think we're gonna have a battle here with Jack Wood and Joe Ruggiero. Joe Ruggiero was starting to peek to the inside of Jack Wood when they went to caution, or when they went to the commercial. No change at the front of the field here. Lap number 13 for the Tribe 150 here in the ARCA MENARD here. Jack Wood continues to shut away. 0 second Jake Bob rounds at the top three. Mile and a half racetrack speed difference that we're seeing from the leaders to some of the cars that are struggling just a little bit of speed. It's breathtaking. When you get to lap traffic, you can't be thinking many laps on the road. You gotta keep an eye down the straightaway to where you have to go. Speed differential does show up, but it's meets are moving opportunities. 14 laps in here. Competition caution coming up at lap 20. Jeff Wood subject coming laps with 5 laps away from that. Jack Wood comes to the turn number one. He increases his lead over Giro. Gap between the top two about 10 calling. He changes line two with the top traffic. He forced the person to the top side. He's increasing his lead. He goes to the bottom part of the racetrack at 3 and 4. He opens at about 15 calling, but the second. Meanwhile, further back to the side by side battle for the sixth spot coming off a turn number 4. Brainy, Lace, and Michelle. Michelle at the bottom of the racetrack off exit the corner and slides up the corner of Lane. Lee bites. Laney looks in a mirror. She's got a challenge now. They're getting the chance for Joe and Jefferson to lap traffic. They all try to work around the summer because of Robert Canelli. Here's the W at the bottom of the race. So to the final race, the number 2, so a single foul. Then the back to the way into turn number 3 and 4. Battle shipping up into the top 5 here for turn number 4. And then in 5 supporting this nickel code yellow, blue, and red. The Pinnacle Group's number 77 car. Shield along with Ederson enter the corner. Go bow for third side by side after number 2. Daniel Dye and Jake Bob, and Jake Bob and takes off to the back. He works his way out side by side, bumping to the outside Chevrolet of Daniel Dye. He buys it off the number 3 and 4 around the left guard to take the spot. They'll keep the seeing a blap entry at the bottom of the racetrack. Daniel Dye able to squeeze by with ease and open up 2 crawling. They continue to race into number 2 or 1, making a pass on Jake Bubble with the third spot. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to catch him. He works his way down the back straightaway. Once again, the leader, Jack Wood, already in the middle of the corner. Gio top side. Back in second. They'll complete 19 laps this time by caution flag coming up for caution petition caution 1 lap. Jack Wood and company wait their way to the start finish lane to the corner. Jack Wood into number 2. Down the back straightaway. He's running all the green flag this afternoon. He's working his way to the back to the lap car in front of him. That's actually Alex Club. Actually, Cletus. Here they come back to the line, completing lap number 20. Competition caution gonna fly here. Caution flag is out. They're gonna wait for, it looks like, the majority of lead lap cars to come by and cook off lap number 20. That's what they're waiting for right now. All the lead lap car will click off this lead lap, touching caution due to limited track time yesterday. There was an opportunity for practice, but the weather washed off the track yesterday. First one in afternoon, couple of lap number 20. Competition caution was Jack Wood leading. 20 laps into Tide 150. Caution flag is displayed for competition. Caution for Jack Wood, Jimmy Joe, Dino Die, Jake Bowman, and Thomas, and that's the top five. Yeah, Wood is looking strong, definitely. Yeah, I appreciate you all being here. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe if you're new here. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. When they come back here, we'll have competition pit stops, and then we'll go back to green after that. There we go. Getting ready for some pit stops here. Everybody's on at the entry of pit road. Pace cars into number 3. Pit road's about to get busy. Some of the things I've been hearing on the radio that we're gonna get a bit busy. See who stays out, but the majority, it seems like it's gonna work on the race car the way that it's up to the ARCA MENARD series that you can come in and not lose anything. The modified competition switch up dinner day. Just needs to stand on the racetrack. Most of the front runners are coming in. Jack Wood really with his automobile very good with the speed on it. Very kind of just monitoring the gap from Menard and gap at the 0-0. We'll see what the adjustments on this race car. Jack Wood and the attention of his crew 0-0 within. He needs help getting into turn number 1. Coach is a little bit tight into number 1. Needs a little more stability in the center. Gonna make a minor adjustment on that car and get that car back set out. Hyundai said on the racetrack, James Bubble is getting pit service, major adjustment for tires as well, junior tires. Not allowed to fuel in the stop when a jack when another crew grabbed them and didn't made sure that they did not put fuel in the pit service. Lap number 24. This stop being taken right now on the racetrack. They're now allowed to take fuel. That's a really balanced change at the you need to put a balance when you put tires in. You don't have to weight of the field and makes it more secure and tighter. You gotta come up with adjustments that would work with it. When that lap 50, you can then do it and you're gonna be able to put fuel in it. Then guys see out here in here the race lead. Jake Bum will go to second. Glenn Michelle will go to third. David Expedition will go to fourth. Running at the top five will be Gio Giro. His Speedway Motor Racing Day. Getting ready for a restart here. I'm also watching Curtis's in-car camera because sometimes the M.E.Racing radio can be behind a little bit on what's going on. So I'm watching both the in-car camera from Curtis and M.E.Racing as well. That's what I'm listening to. Keep updated on what's going on with the race. Looks like they're getting ready for a restart here. Hopefully, hopefully Curtis can have a good run today. We got the one to go here before they go to the back green flag. Our Commonwealth Series to put on the top three national series. They did not get to choose, but when they went to the restart with, they simply go inside and outside, front row, second row, all the way down to the field. Right now, Daniel Dye will lead us to the green flag. J Bum will give him a show. After Jade Opposition and Eddie Jane, Kobiak, the top five line up for the restart here. Daniel Dye's first restart after social media post where he was suspended in the NASCAR Crossman Truck Series. It's his first time back on the track since those event happened about a month ago. Got to take care of things off the racetrack. He's been reinstated by NASCAR. Had the opportunity to get back in competition. Could start here for Daniel Dye to come back and beginning process to make things better and turn the race right to his career. Right now, he's the leader. When they come to the line, it'll be lap number 27 that they completed. Begin lap 28. It'll be 50 laps in the 150 lappers in the Tide 150. Here they come off the corner. Pace cars on pit road. Daniel Dye inside. Jake Bubble, the point leader, to the outside and to the restart zone. Green flag is back out. really tight restart. Guy will get the the go breaking race 3 wide, further and back. Make it 4 wide now, going to turn number one. Joe shuts it to the bottom shot of the racetrack. He's side by side with Jack Wood for third. Race leaders are side by side as well. Side by side with the lead. Down to the inside of Bowman. About to be a 3 car battle for the top side die. Kick the advantage 3 wide. Second him back. Coming off of turn number four. Coach Quarter. Dies gets away with the lead. Who open up 2 car lengths. Jake Bowman will go to second. Third is still up for a grab. That's where Jake Bowman. Jimmy Jones struggling at the turn one. Side by side, get that adventure. Jimmy Jones quickly up on the outside, takes the third spot around. Away, doesn't. He took over the third spot and he hits at the eyes on the second spot. Jimmy Jones gets to the bottom of the racetrack. Bowman cut them out, cut the nose. Nose to tail for the second spot. Oh, either on the position number two, Jimmy Jones trying to hang on to it. Jack Wood dominated the opening 20 laps. It's in position number four behind Jack Wood. We've seen Jack Biana had a couple drivers side by side in sixth position. That's where we see Jack beat up position and jumping Michelle. Further up at Jimmy Joe going to the outside of Bowman. Kicking over to the spot, kicked up in the second position. Now for Jimmy Joe. King 12 calling separate first and second. He had no one against him. Joe Jai could come up the grind. Down for third, beginning to heat up. Jack Wood getting pressure to Joe Bowman coming up in turn number four. Now who takes the top away up. That's up to the top side of the racetrack. Bowen tries to throw the back off to number two, but what is there? That cuts them off to the top side. Maybe you have to go to the bottom racetrack as they went to the way of the corner. Get the advantage to Jack Wood now. They handed to the spot. Bowman takes it to the top of the side racetrack. They was driving up the road lane, putting it to the left side. Tired from the lights of drive third under this process. Down dive the leader by a 10 car to Everett Jack Wood is in third. Jake Bowen fourth, side by side for fifth. That's not under attack from Jada Evidentian. Those Jeff has to slide up the nose. Caution is on the speedway right now. Popping off the number four from Robbie Canui. And a bag from a spoke in the back of the yellow James towing entry. Try to get it to pit lane, but it was under too much speed and missed the entry to the pit road. He's coming to a stop here with 15 yards past the start finish line. Smoke continued to build up on the wheel well of the corner, right corner. Caution for the second time today. Curtis McFarland is 12th right now, if anyone's wondering. I know some of you guys probably like Curtis McFarland, so he's running 12th right now. Not sure what Skuro is running though. Curtis right now though is 12th. Back here at Kansas Speedway. We can only gonna have to be towed to the ARCA MENARD series garage. Smoke and everything looks like it was gonna be an engine failure in the car, but they're putting the tow truck to the front of the machine and put it to the ARCA MENARD garage. Yeah, that was some pretty wild racing for sure. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Appreciate you all being here today. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe. One of the rest of 3 times subscribers. Question fight number 2 is what they're working now in Pride 150 for a problem with Robbie Canary. They're putting down some speedy drive on the race car to number 3 and 4. He did a nice job though, getting off the racetrack and preventing an oil down on a Bath Machete. Robbie regular in the ARCA MENARD West. This is third start in the ARCA MENARD for years. Here to see the ARCA MENARD series. Wrote the Daytona program for the journey period practice for Daytona Virtue for the 2025 West Rookie of the Year award. They together and enjoyed the experience so much that they entered to a allowance of their pride is to run here and run Talladega next year, next weekend. Robbie and Jink Bustian back at the Sydney Open of Daytona. They were excited to get back to the not something they expected to do. They had an opportunity to ride. He owned Chen showing biggest social competition Kansas to the enthusiasm to make the entry. New people coming in and talk to him about how Daytona was gonna work next week will be the same thing that from Daytona the Alcamanar series schedule crisscrosses around the country. You're gonna be versing the against the Cup Series Talladega Dennis off the Wake and Glenn's International Finger Lakes National New York, and they go to Toledo Speedway. That'll be Judge of the ARCA MENARD East May 16th. We're back with the NASCAR Cup Series on Junior Michigan Race Racing and Pocono Raceway before annual visit to Sherman Racetrack outside the Grand Berlin Raceway. Just should in the team will have it. This Michigan Pocono, Berlin, and off to Elko, Chicago, then and Lime Rock before they take a break at the end of the year. From August on, they have the end of race. Brigham, Bristol, then they'll shut down the season here at Kansas. Working start, couple race tracks, races 6 week off, and Talladega now another off weekend, and then Rock and Glenn's hop talking races for these teams. They're not the most financing teams for the Arctic Series crap of just go racing and national national television coverage and have a good opportunity to run. But the same token, when you race back to back 6 to 7 weeks with a lot of strength that they'll have hundreds of employees at the race show Queens out is continuing here at Kansas Speedway though. This has been a pretty good race so far. Some pretty good battles. We just hit 2.49 thousand subscribers, guys. So I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you all for the support on the channel. Guys are awesome. Robert Neely had a problem other than the hood. That's when the caution came out. Not couldn't up at the speed driver in second place. Dial lead of Joe Jack Wood and Jake Baldwin. Did after this and run at the top five and Speedway. Chris McFerrin's gonna be the out on the outside of this restart. Chris McFerrin just said, "Fire me up." Listen to his in-car camera as well as MRN same time. So good to hear Chris McFerrin. Well, displayed as well. Right now they're warming up the tires, getting ready for this restart. This year the exciting start for Kevin. He has 15 racing for the ARCA MENARD series with Metro Motorsport. Tonight he leaves here. Does 138 miles to the southeast. Will shop with in Missouri and make his 4-ton sprint car debut. He's gonna run 30 to 35 sprint car races with one of the long term. Let's see, heads down for a race that he got high limit series. He said he got him a little too free. Gonna let him roll to the midway, break, then to tighten the car up. He made doing the good. With 18-year-old David Michelle. He's gonna restart from position number 8. He took from some great team owners. That's when he was running some of the Cars Late Model Tour champion Lee Podium. He drove for Rocket Racing as well. Highly talented race car driver. Really brain the talented. Let's see, younger Joe Speed Coach mentioned eighth right now hasn't been to pit road. They're pretty free race cars. But he can here the halfway point. Just see a second one of these tires is kind of shooting out where your race car's going. Might be good for him to not be out of balance for him. Tires on the race cars would not let your car stay out the original piece. He continues to this race to work the way off the turn before race car and races way to the pit label or to the pit. Restart zone outside lane gets the jump. Green plug is in the air. Gio Vigil had the truck full. Triple one right behind the Gio Vigil on the outside lane, handing it to camera one. It'll be Vigil to the club the lead. Top by top for second. 12 to the right. Shoulder Daniel died to the bottom side of the racetrack. Third door they went their way down. Side by side for the second spot. They're 3 wide, further back behind the leader. Working away to the corner, second put for second back. Here comes Dinner down to the bottom of the racetrack. Inside Jake Problem, right middle wheel, bottom for second. Thomas Nessiano comes bouncing around the outside to take 4. Looking for some running room. He'll go to the third groove off to the outside groove. he got Jeff out the outside. Jeff obviously turned to the bottom race part. He also trying to carry his momentum to the top side. He gets it to number 3 and 4. Now make it 3 wide. Right to the inside, but he then takes the knuckle car to the inside lane. 3 wide maneuver to take on with number 4. The outside though coming to the end and the JP waiting here to have the advantage. 4 up on back. JP Hampton had the 4th spot. Move show the 5th. Here comes the he by trying to take speaks away from Luciano. Move show got the wall to number 2. Onto the way to the bottom racetrack. Michelle falling back after making contact. Michelle at the bottom racetrack. He's at the harm's lane. That's the way everyone harm speed after Michelle hit the wall. Coming off the temperature, Video didn't judge. J Pop in the top 3 behind J Pop in the 4th spot. Still remains J Aviation. She trying to get free and clear of the traffic. Here is like to the inside, Devin to the outside the door, other than back to the way. So we on the bottom part, Toyota at the top side, Devin to go to all the way to the outside of the wall, but the bottom road track. They're gonna make this stick to slide up and maintain position number 4. However, on the comeback trail, Jay Weston at the top side, just outside of the top 5, bow for the 4th position. They went to the out into the racetrack, then I get up and clear Jay Weston's position. She will. They're gonna go back and forth, bound to the inside. They hold on to this position. Jack Wood though wants to get to the middle of this battle, though swinging a little bit of miles coming off the corner. That's Jade Affiliation. Jack Wood, Jade Affiliation, with a wheel for position number 8. They enter turn number 1. Jack Wood to the bottom of the racetrack. They'll make the path on Jade Affiliation and work their way so Jaden Bites. Bites trying to make up some ground with good position. They come out to turn number 3 and 4. Based on about 3 calling further back off the backlit off of woman and shooter. Well, the race leader Joe had opened up a 50 calling or so advantage over second place Joe name, but Jack Wood. So they ran into top 5 back into number 1 and 2. 1 spot between Jack Wood and Javen Appleton. He's that different Casamarians in 7th. And Michelle, along with Jade Appleton, called the top 10. They worked their way through lap top 18 and got to the middle of the corner. Jim Bites at the bottom part 4 laps away from the halfway point. Looking at David Joe, he's been so smooth all day long. He's able to put his car all the way where he wants it. He rides the bottom side of the racetrack, right with the Custom Truck Series, running the ARCA MENARD Series race this afternoon as well. He's making the best of it. He has a huge advantage. Also, to turn number 3 and 4. They enter turn number 3. General Dye entering turn number 3. Getting closer and closer to the halfway point. The halfway break coming up in a little bit for another opportunity for team to go to get a wrench to the race car. Right now, they're trying to understand where the bounce is on the race car. They refired off, and the tires are starting to cool on. You understand what lane you want to run and understand what they've got in the race car and what they can adjust from one piece that was they can keep in mind. If they put tires on the left and or forward competition costing, they're gonna put a fuel load and might be a little tighter than what you wanna be. You know, to tighten the car up. You have feeling actually tighten the car to have any sort of dark with the dark, but if you take off, you have weight in the back of the car, more weight in the front of the car, make the car want to go forward. If you put tires on, if they put another fuel load in, it's gonna make the car freer. You're gonna need to tighten the car and the bounce up. If you'd work their way up, the green flag, we've only been sold for 2 caution and the Type 150 0 next time battle. See cross flags in the air off the corner 0 and the company will come to the line. Cross flag display 0 leading 0 die. Leading by Jack Wood, the top 5 at the opening 20 laps or so up, falling in the 5th position. They're leading and the flag then showing a bounce of the field. Cross flags. I mean, you're halfway home here in the top 150 0 driving for Joe Gibbs Racing this weekend, having a great run so far. The testing flag will come out, indicating we're halfway home in the top 150 0 Jacob Racing leading under beautiful clouded side of Candace. Yeah, I think I'm beating him with my heart. Because I keep the spamming hearts in the chat. I think I'm beating him, to be honest. He's not fast enough. I'm faster than him. Get ready for a restart here soon. Here at Kansas Speedway. Tom Rudman, Dusty, and Corey Heim, who are the leader. That is had a that on the radio. Talk about Corey Heim on M.E.Racing right now. Go Jade, Laney, Bo, and Destiny. Yeah, they're all doing pretty good right now, Chris. Appreciate you being here, Kirk. Custom flag number 3, waving for the time 150, halfway home. Lap number 53 right now, waiting for a pit lane to be opened up. The free pass on the custom flag will be Squirrel McNutt. He'll get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. Which McFerrin and adventures in the year to Squirrel McNutt. One of his collaborators, Cameron Min, as well, getting the opportunity in his first ARCA MENARD Series National Spears start. Squirrel did race in the ARCA MENARD East race here at Rockingham. Speedway. That was his debut race. He has no prior. They make a promise to Greg different shirt or track of the ARCA MENARD Series. They race to give her in each race another today. After the race, wanted to check up Fox next win, but they had to tell Dig as well. No doubt that the Kudos factor is a real thing. Rocking him for the Archimedes East and his 7 years through out there in the longest line of everyone. The entire weekend didn't matter what series was there that particular weekend. Folks were going nuts for Cletus and Scrum McNutt. Venturing out and trying to press for Tucker Richie. We need see Isabella Roscoe to win a race after 2 years in ARCA. That would be pretty cool. She could definitely do it for sure. Who had the most cars in this race? Nitro or Pinnacle? Um, Not sure. I think Pinnacle. Hey, what's up, NASCAR fan? Welcome in. Doing tires versus teammate. Check Wood, the deep fuel first on this car. Protocol for the ARCA MENARD series. When Jefferson is performance. Started off really, very good on this short run. Coming up for number two. Gonna try to loosen this car off a little bit. Didn't die. One that stayed out the racetrack the whole run. Not in the lap, caution the lap. Core. Car's turning off the corner. Getting off the racetrack. Back it up. Away Yahoo Purple colors on his car. It's a government show. It was a little bit loose. Matter of fact, he scuffed the wall on the outside of the racetrack. Give it a little bit tight or loose. Some cars are tight and loose. Makes you get to work on the car. While saving measure for the ARCA MENARD series race. You don't have a ton of employees and you don't have your own pit crews of the wall. And it could be an expensive process. Paying tickets for them and pay them as well. Not a matter of paying the fuel as well. It could be several thousands of wall. But you can fly them here and put them up and try to put the Xfinity series team. And adding five more people to his race team to make series to perform the series. Not in a competitive environment. This stops that the described has been wrapped up good as back on the race car to go green here and a little bit or coming out event. When they come back here, we'll have a restart. Yeah, I'm not even listening to what that guy has to say anymore. He's just a fucking idiot, to be honest. Sorry to say it, but he is literally just an idiot. Yeah, no, he's literally stealing their pictures from Facebook and using them for YouTube. Like, he can literally get banned from that. Like, get a life, dude. I don't know why he has to come in here and make so many fake profiles. It's like, go away, dude. Stop harassing us. Talk about me getting a life. How about you get a life? Back here at Kansas Speedway, Bobby Arnold had them getting going. We expect the one to go here in just a minute. Second half of the Tribe 150 in the books. Don't forget big day here at Kansas Speedway in the motor racing 4 o'clock Eastern Time Cup Series practice waiting on 6:30 p.m. The NASCAR Rally Auto Parts Series Kansas Lottery 300. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll be having you guys covered from that as well. Doing a race track on it. The weekend schedule. Plenty of pro crew call this week is Junior Schwartz, Q2 Brian Sparks this weekend. Talking about this is season they kicked off this week. Finding the way off developing. Nah, dude, you get a job. Like seriously, help yourself. I don't need help. You need help, dude. You need help. Help yourself. Stop ruining your life. Stop embarrassing yourself. Seriously, dude, stop embarrassing yourself. You're coming in here for no reason, just starting crap. I know it's funny. That's literally my dad in the chat, and you think it's me. Like, get a life, dude. Tomorrow is Advent Hell 400. Then we'll be buttoned up. Martin Ricard's Heartlands. You'll get the one to go here. We wait to turn number 3 and 4, 0, down, die, Jake Baldwin, Jack Wood, and Laney by the top 5. When they come back to the line, it'll be 59 laps to go, 49 laps to go. They make their way off of turn number 4 down to the restart zone. We get set for the green flag. Back in the air. Here they go for the green box. Outside lane and dinner does not come up below. They're gonna battle everyone and make them 3 and 4 wide. Dinner die made a spin the tires on the restart side by side with Jake Bowen for the second position. They slowed it down all the way by 3 currently. They continue to grow the lead as they went to the corner. Dinner die trying to get regrouped to get to the nose in front of Bowman foul Byron. Here comes Vice coming off the corner, tight racing from second on back. Coming off the corner, 0-0. Scamper through with the lead. Jake Bowman second. Blaney Vice. Dan dies side by side for third. Two Chevys with a wheel now with the two number 1. Blaney Vice in the inside of the race. Dan dies making a pass on third. Dies takes dying in the fourth spot just outside of the top 5. Guy that went to the outside wall to pick up the ground. Chris McFarland making his way to the top 10. Back up to the top 5 or top 10 rather. Right now, McFarland right there with Jason Skitzberger heading into turn number 1. Good McFarland looking late in the race. Jai had a big wobble in turn number 1 and 2. Jump sideways on him. And I get it. Good. Regroup. 3 calling to the back. Wait up the bunch of away to the top 4. Putting their head on the inside Jack Wood in the 5th spot. Jai doing the keep Jack Wood looked high then looked low. Second back, that's a stack up. Currently gonna or 2. Jai
third. Here comes Jack Wood sticking out the inside. And I will lose about 3 counts now. Jack Wood with the run the middle groove. Daniel Dice at the position. Jack Wood takes a beat to the end here. Here comes Jack Wood flying around the outside for third. Jack Wood has got his car hooked up on the outside of the racetrack now. He made that pass on many bikes coming up to number 4. Now here, Daniel Die. Second on back. Here's the Kansas Country. Give Jiro, which is way to number 1 and 2. Side by side for the second spot. Jiro comes up the corner. Reader opens up. 1.6 seconds the last time when they come off the finish line. Right now, it's second 1.4 over Jiro's battle for second. And involves Jake Bowman is weighing Toyota. Jack Wooden is weighing Orange Chevrolet. He continues to fight for second. Down the straight Chevrolet. Chris crosses to the bottom. With the bottom for the race to make the outside groove work. Here they come off the number 4. Jai will take over the position. The number 4 spot. They get by Landing Bias. Daniel Jai moves his way to the Landing Bias. Jack Wood now has also made his way to Jake Bowman. One's gonna try to make much of the race leader with Vijiro. He got some work to do. 20 car lengths in front of him. He has to worry about behind him as well. Boom, go to the bottom of the racetrack. But bring him. Daniel Jai with him. 34 laps to go. Jiro leads with Jack Wood, who takes the second spot, using a different lane. He's been using the outside lane, really getting the car to work very well. Here comes Wood, turn number 1 and 2, half a curve off the wall. Lap traffic dirt in front of him. Jiro Jack Wood making easy work of the lap car to the sights on a lead. Here comes Jiro, race leader off of number 4. Lap number 67 goes on the board. Ruggiero showed the way. Jack Wood second. Jake Bum, Daniel Die, and then Daniel Die round up the top 5. Welcome in everyone. If you're just tuning in, Joe is showing the way. Jack Wood is the fastest car on the racetrack. He continues to track him down. And no here though, make sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe. We're number 3,000 subscribers. Sorry for the idiots guys on the stream. But I appreciate you guys being here and dealing with the bull crap on the stream and just enjoying the race. Zero continued to show the way here. laps getting through in lap number 72 goes on the board on the leaving 28 laps remaining. Jack Wood is still there in second. Battle for third. Tighten job. Jake Bum looks in the mirror. Still dinner die. This battle has been raging on for the last several laps. Dinner die. Got right behind the sway of Jake Bum. Trying to take the third spot away for the moment though. Bum hangs onto the position. Dinner die is losing ground. Heading to turn number 3 and 4. Leaders working their way through lap traffic. Battle for the third spot. Continuing on as they get to it. The drivers now beginning to drive up the racetrack just a little bit. And turn number 3 and 4. But the see here in Kansas Speedway, even underway for the Cups race. The bottom of the paint for turn number 3 and 4 can be viable. But 1 and 2, they feel like the preferred group is up there on top of the second dash line with the progressive making cuts up to 20 degrees about 15 feet wide. They have to be up there. Some of the ARCA guys starting to get up there and some speed. There's white solid finish line that separates the bacon from the apron, which is the flat part of the corner around the racetrack. And they actually put the tires on the paint. The surface there, it's aggregate. It's got pores to it, but it's worn out. It's kind of like you can get your rubber on it. It's a smooth surface. People actually stick to it to where H's and weathers both light side tires weight line is 7 8 inches wide. When you look at it, it'll be visible. You can get most of everything on it. That adds the bow for third is heating up. Alpha turn number 2. It'll slow down though because the caution is on. Curtis McFarlane goes sliding his way to the corners, picking up a huge cloud of smoke fluid coming out of the cars. A couple other cars also have spun on the bottom side of the racetrack. Going into turn number 1, running down with Isabella Bristow. Coming to the right front, center of the Toyota engine. Kodiak as well has hit and made contact with the inside wall. He's now grabbing the gear and driving away. Market car incident. Not sure what started that though. Chris McFarlane with the one that was sideways. I'm waiting for number 1 and 2. He dropped foot on the track. Started out when the engine let go for Curtis McFarlane. Long strip of wood all the way through the trail over into turn number 1. With the driver behind him, got into the fluid and went for a wild ride. So man, that sucks for Curtis. Blowing an engine. There's a dark streak of fluid right through the start finish line and up into where it would be bind up to the wall to enter number 1. Get marked running across it. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's get 3 more likes on the stream for 10 likes. For caution for the Tide 150. Drink of fluid oil on the racetrack. It's basically off the lane off the all the way through the start finish line out to the outside wall. That's when others got collected as well. Mainly any Janka. It's a real stimulus for Kodiak. They start sliding bright green grass. He clipped out and kicked up a ton of dirt. You got David from pitching red. It'll be a lengthy cleanup here, so you're gonna go into a commercial here. When they come back, though, we'll probably have a restart. That kind of sucks for Quidditch there, blowing an engine and dripping a lot of fluid on the racetrack. Back here at Kansas, cars are stopped on the back straightaway on the fluid down on the racetrack. Down in turn number one, the black car does well. Red flag is displayed at the time of 50. We we're pretty. I know Joe Morrison in his 30 Stucker account still giving us views and stuff. So whatever, keep making accounts, I guess. Hey, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. 10 people here. Let's get to 10 likes on the stream. Appreciate you being here. Guys are awesome. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe. One of the 3,000 subscribers. We just had a crash off of turn number three. Cletus blew an engine, and that made a lot of people stack up right behind him with Jade Abedisian as well as Isabella Ella and a few others. So they're under a red right now. Into number three, we'll have a restart here soon. Kind of a tough break here for Quick Fivern when Quick Fivern blew up in addition into Bella Bristow kind of slid and then slid through the grass and just hit the wall. It's a Bella Zero tough break. She had a wall at the lake of the safer barrier on the triangular. Number one, Quick Fivern car has been attached to the record. It is coming back to the garage. And he tried code in the pit lane as well. Isabella is gonna have a lot of challenges. The race car he had a lot of different efforts to number one and two. Didn't wreck it. Red Jones Racing is with that, but he after that a lot of winning the race that gonna take quite a while to clean up here. Cruz is kind of talking and thinking out and carrying on and putting a strategy and putting a pin in the police chief and Dustin is the crew chief. One of the engineers done a good job from the race team got the board winning both races. Actually, with fun of being clean and right now both their cars outside of the top five. Jack Wood kind of the chaser right now, trying to track down race leader Gibber Jero. Catch up with Steve Dawson right now. Dawson is crew chief on the team. Dawson is available for engineers in Hoffman. They talked about said he's not gonna chunk the game. They want to kind of want to talk about the big picture of where it can Speedway. They had a pick up with the first cut, the rear going. They gave up control. Jack did a good job in the second. But there was 185 or so. Come back around him. The track with some race. When he far back to 7 or 8, I'm working their way up. Done a good job. Super wide. I'm really happy with today. How today has gone. It's good today. The position is high. Situations are different. There's 4 races. Try to gain strength and get the appropriate results. They hold yourself to stuff for the high standard and expect to win. It felt like Jack's done a good job this weekend. Where they started yesterday to where they are today, winning as well. I think that by the end of the race, you can get to somebody 7 up front and 28 as well. So I've been jumping in and out, trying to do a good race in and out. Steve and Kevin kick them at those guys as well and how they work with the driver week in and week out. Ben firm for him. He's tied up on occupied now. So act busy so he doesn't touch him. James Hoffman, operation director for the team. It's a good job. They helped them. The pace was starting to level up. They think that on a good restart, they can take advantage of it and take the lead. That's gonna how important it is. A hiccup and also track position. That's gonna how important it is to get some track position. It's huge. If you don't have the track position, it's hard to spot these guys, especially when you get out front. Crew chief for Jack Wood. Gonna see what they have when they get back to racing action. Jim Hussman, Jack Wood with the race team as well. Here they go back to racing here when they go to game 5 position. Nickel race group. The scored their second. Wayne Lane Rice and Blaney is fifth right now. ARCA MENARD Series racing here at Kansas. Tied 150. Triple oil collected as the Curtis has no damage on his car, but Ada J and Isabella have a lot of damage on their chip for today. Lots of speedy drive has been a part of Kansas Speedway. An effort for race to clean up here, March 25 laps, leading by their die or top 5. Ocean Troopers are coming by. They're making progress, picking up some speed driving. They came by and made a second pass. They had 3 different tenders on the track that were trying to lead speedy drive to clean up all the fluid. One of the trucks that about halfway through had a malfunction. They had to take the truck off the track and bring too much trucks to get the speed drive on the racetrack. They had a sweeper drive to clean up and really dig into the asphalt on the speed drive the rails to absorb this fluid so they can get it on the racetrack. Get them 3 bore on the racetrack as well, remaining speed drive all. They're making good progress halfway through this cleanup. Definitely a lot of fluid though on the racetrack. When Chris McFarland went to turn number 1 and 2 and hit engine let go on him. Jack Wood Scoochie was stuck in here. You're doing a good job leading the race. Everyone include the shots for Jiro. They're asking him what he's saying about the race car. Queen is gonna help him avoid. He's a little bit 3 for the center, a little bit exit, a little bit tight on the exit. He can very tight, hop on one side. plenty of good speed and figure out what they're gonna be doing here. Then 1-2, the more top side dominant. They're asking him how do you determine when to make the move and how the drivers make the move, what the process to make the point. It's all about what you have to what lap you have on tires and ended up losing the race because of it. Restarts really important here. Matt Ross for crew chief for Jerry Joe Heath if we can buy his crew to get on the race car. I think we're gonna get ready to go here. So basically wait this out for everyone else. When the green flag flies with 3/4 of this race, I had sweepers and speed job put down. We're gonna see a lot of more separation at the competition number one. Speed job and where Chris McFerrin ran through. It's a second groove. I think you see the bottom groove run down to the paint. They see him. Race groove is gonna move up the racetrack to move up the speed job before they get the buildup off the 2 lap. The extra shot of tires for these guys because they didn't get practice or qualifying yesterday. Other cars on the lead lap. We'll see if anyone comes to pit lane and get tires. You cannot lose positions on pit lane unless other cars stays on the racetrack. Find out. Interesting call here. The creature we're gonna have to make. They pull away from backstretch. Red flag is lifting. Pit road is open. We'll see if anyone comes down for service. Looks like we have some takers coming up the pit lane. The pit stop will happen on lap 78. Girl making up will stay on the racetrack and a lot of others who are not on the lead lap. I think every car on the lead lap is gonna meet their pit stop speed limit 45 as they eat their way. Matt Ross, when they were done with the interview with to discuss this very scenario, they felt like they were gonna be a sitting duck if they didn't come in and put 4 fresh general tire on the race car. No adjustment on it right now. Car is pretty good at just an amount of Jimmy Gear doing his thing and executing a false restart. Jake Bowen is on. You're gonna put 4 tires on that car as well, getting a pissed out or services rolling services in, getting Jack Wood is in and getting service. Here's Jay Abedition. She's getting 4 tires on the Yahoo car. I think most of the front runners are getting 4 tires on the race cars, getting set to go back on the speedway. They're gonna race that and see who starts wearing, see who can control the street and maybe the end of the race as well. One of the 11 cars did not come to pit lane. That's Gavin Michelle. They take over the race lead. Come on, guys. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get 10 likes on the stream. Smash the like button, guys. Let's hit that like go. Appreciate you all being here. Guys are awesome. Clear Speedway. It's been a pretty good race so far. Don't forget, guys, we have NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying after this. If you guys want to tune into that, I'll be giving you guys race talk and that. or I'll probably just do a watch along, let you guys listen to the M.E.Racing radio during that. But definitely appreciate you all being here on a Saturday night, spending your time with me. Appreciate it. Yeah, what's the odds on another Joe Morrison account? I bet he's still in here somewhere. He's probably just watching now. I don't know. Is it gonna be 80 laps complete and 20 laps to go? Look at the one to go. Spurlock got the free path she'll get on the lead lap position number 12. Spurlock making their first ever start here at Kansas Speedway in the National Series. Start for Kansas Speedway. Motorcycle Jag NHRA Jagger Racers now trying to go asphalt racing. Veteran Gavin said, "Does everyone have four tires?" Message said, "Yes, everyone has four tires. You don't have to worry about anyone else. Get the outside wing, get off to a good start. The restarting the important thing and control the rest of the race. They did not come to finish second as they pitted everyone. Set themselves up for the race finish. And the 70 at the new young racer with a lot more experience than Kevin Brichot. Ty Gibbs stayed out on Floss restarting the out. He's gonna restart on the outside. See if the track positions available at the first tires around him. Good work in September 3 gets up for the green flag was Jeff Machado. The start for Government Show is gonna play out here. It's gonna be 19 laps to go here in the Tide 150 for the ARCA MENARD Series race number 3 under 20 race season here in 2026. Side by side they come to the pit restart zone. Pace cars on pit road. With 19 laps to settle it here this afternoon at the Clinton Speedway. Let's go, Belcho and Rijo inside. Rijo does not come into speed. Rijo does. He'll get the advantage. Move Jack Wood and Eder to come to the outside. Rijo, the reader. Here comes Jack Wood to the outside of Joe. It's number 1 trying to take to the lead. And the outside goes there for second. Second side by side for the second spot. One call like over Joe. Great run there for Die going to turn number 2. Gets to know Jack Wood counters back on the outside. Gonna have a pass through benefit Thomas. Let's see how to jump out of the line before they get to the finish line. Did not maintain his position. Didn't gonna give up a top 10 finish here. Or opportunity. Joe pointed out for Turk. 4 Collins back to Jack Wood. 4 Collins back to down Die all the way to the bottom of the racetrack with a wheel. To the corner. There you go. Everyone happens to Joe dominant double with the free Jack Wood. First of those and hop 2. He got 3 position now to make up this leader. 3 Joe in the bottom of the racetrack. Jack Wood leads it wide on the outside. 2 different lines coming off the corner to allow Jack Wood to cut half of line of Jerry Joe. Matarich run happening to number 2. Jerry Joe to the bottom of the racetrack. Back in the bump off the number 2 or 1. They thought about crossing over. Back in the corner. Kicks out sideways. That's backs out. He's on south and saves that down. The back bumper. Jack Wood wants the race leader. Now into number 1. He's down to the bottom of the racetrack. Follows them of Joe. Side by side. Off the lead. For turn number 2. Coming off the corner. Hold on to the spot. Now, really goes to Jack Wood. Looks at the bottom of the racetrack. It's Joe. Got on the bottom. Stacked on middle lane. He's found the racetrack at the high lane to turn number 1 and 2. Last time by Joe went stops at the bottom. Then here they come off the crossing line. Fortune to go. Let's see which lane they choose here. Jack Wood and Die starting to closer. They're side by side and guy for the race lead. Officer number 2, Richo, able to get the nose right there with him. He's right at the George Tower, working his way to number 3. Jack Wood, he was slide up with Richo. Richo trying to climb across it. Outside the right for a quarter pinno. Nice race leader Jack Wood. Richo is under attack for a second now, but don't die. Don't die both to the inside of Jerry Joe for the 6th spot. Into number 1, don't die. Across the line, bounce out of number 1 and 2. He gets the second spot to don't die. Don't die with a great restart and they go back to Green Flag Racing 4th spot, working his way to the 6th, holding off of Joe behind. Bound for the lead up front. All of a sudden, Joe dropping anchors. He lost the race and dropped 5 calling back to the second place car. Which kind of lap track for James John might be the clean scar among the 3 drivers. Last few laps, he's only 2 car lengths behind the race leader Jack Wood. Staying right there with him. 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. Joe falls back about 15 car lengths. Bison taking up the 3rd spot. Made back though. Battle for the lead continues. 12 laps to go this time by coming for Joe. Falling 6.5 seconds behind the leader in the number 8 spot. After staying in the racetrack and not taking the first charge of the race leader, Jack Wood, the race leader, upright, got the outside wall. Then die in second, run the middle group. Then die trying to different group to make up some ground here against Jack Wood. Especially got the calling it separation. Both jobbers up in front of the low lane, coming off the timber of 3 and 4, holding up right. They got the right line up the bottom racetrack. 11 to go now, more lap traffic at the leaders swing wide. Car Michael Melford stays off of number 1 and 2. Both Jack Wood and Dylan died easily bypass from Jack Wood, 6 to the inside of 1 and 2. 6 to the inside, wall down the back straightaway. He heads into number 3, drops it all the way down, puts the left sider down on the white line. He works his way to the corner. Here they come off of number 4. 1 mile lap car to have to deal with this time by putting easily that machine behind them in the rear mirror tip machine to number 1. Go to the bottom racetrack again. Less the leader Jack Wood bypass them to the outside. Daniel Dye will do the same. They exit now to number 2, trying to make an advantage, but it's still they about calmly for second, first and second. Jack Wood put the white and orange and white car, and now Daniel Dye in the second spot. 10 callings off. They have no lap traffic to deal with right now. As they come to the line, it's 9 to go. Jack Wood is starting to open things up in the lane going. He's doing so on the outside lane. That's why Jack Wood making a lot of time to number 1 and 2. He continues to stretch it out as well. Coming off the corner, opening the vintage of 15 colleagues. Daniel Dye looks in the rear mirror, starting to see a little black speck of the Toyota. They continue to be Joe continue to fall back a little bit. The 3rd spot now, but Vice car really off the pace. For the back race leader now have a trio of cars that have to deal with the first 10 of the corners. Is good dead ahead, but the race leader still is Skrull McNutt and Bobby Earnhardt. Jack will go to the outside of 3 cars, work his way up to the outside. At first, Daniel Jack to get off the bottom of the racetrack. They work his way around. Jack will go to the middle, go for the number 3. Drives past the Skrull McNutt car and the Bobby Earnhardt car to 3. Daniel Jack's gonna get killed after that burn. A minute there, Bobby Earnhardt goes wide. Bobby Earnhardt car said right after race. Daniel Jack had to crack the spot. They're gonna open up Jack Wood's lead even more. That caught time for Daniel Jack trying to get around Bobby Earnhardt. Now he charged the leader by 15 calling. Big kick up for Jake Wood. He continues to work his way. Laps window down a couple laps later in front of Jack Wood. They go to the middle groove. He exits the corner. Comes out to the line. 6 laps to go. And this one, further back, Laney Vice has run down Joe Machine to beat a battle for position number 3. Joe did not have the speed that he did early in the race. Now they're about to lose another spot in the racetrack. In the top 5, Laney Bison and the Chevrolet about 1 car behind them. Laney Vice gets a great run coming up from number 2, back down the corner to number 3. Bike now go to the top shelf, bottom side. It's Jibber Joe. Vice gets chased. Laney Vice using the outside lane coming off of turn number 4. Carson gets a little bit loose off a corner. She got her back up, but she's there. Full head of steam up in the going battle for third. Very good battle. Race for Speedway Boom. She looked to the inside of Jibber Joe for third and number 2 that now cuts in line. Sunoco goes for Vice. Waiting side of the Chevrolet that directed back to the way she goes to the middle side of the racetrack. Now all the way to the inside wall, making Garner jail with Joe, trying to figure out just how to get up there and make the path. Many bus can't get there. On a full laps to go. Many bus will be going. Many bus on a tire track. Then jail with Joe. Engine number 1. Both the 2 driving swing up in the outside groove. The outside wall heading to the back. Last time by right side the great run coming up to turn number 1 to put the advantage to Joe coming up the corner here but to put opening things up. This time by slides all the way up the corner. Back bumper. Make it go move out to turn number 1 and 3. Her best within this race. She finished 8th a year ago. She's on the cut of going to position number 3. Trouble position number 1. One car goes spinning off the front bumper of Joe. Destiny Spurlock. They come off the back bumper of Spurlock. She got turned sideways and he's playing on the inside of the racetrack. Oh man. Probably happened in turn number 1 and 2. They're gonna slow things down with just 3 laps to go here. That sucks. There's 3 laps to go and with a caution. She would have done good too. Yeah, that does stink for MBM. Yeah, this is a pretty good race. Even Joe Morrison would like this. That's funny. Alright, guys, come on, let's get 10 likes on the stream. Come on, guys. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe. One of the road to 3,000 subscribers. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get to 10 likes. Hit that like button, guys. 7 likes, let's go. Actually, we need 3 more likes on my end. Maybe it's 2 though. I don't know. It says 7 likes for me. Tried 150 here. And Speedway third consistent ARCA MENARD series race here. Headed to overtime here. ARCA overtime road tracks like this, they turn into they can lime rocks and welcome go ahead and have their own set of rules. That when they come to the mile and a half pin speedway, after caution comes out, can't end on regulation. Have unlimited times like green, white, checkered, and turtle leader check the teacher trigger flag. After caution comes out on the white flag, that'll go into caution and then go unlimited detention for green and white until they get to the checkered flag. Here we go. Green, white, checkered, guys. Jerry Joe in the last 10 few laps called Storm back has another opportunity to take the checkered flag. See how it plays out here. They haven't got the one to go here, but field is lined up 2 by 2. Did not get the one to go this time by. Actually turned the lights off, but didn't get the one to go at the third stand. They did get one to go. They get ready for the restart here. Cannot choose your restart lane here. See the outside lane, different drivers, spin tires. It's an inexperience with unused tires and not having stickers on the cars. We'll see how Jack Wood does where it comes forward. Laney Bias second, they did the top between 1 and 2 can play and put their stuff in their cup position. Jack Wood will be starting the inside in the sweet spot. Has been an outside that will not be available to him coming to one that did this was a down die. Lenny Bias turned to wake up as both she restarting the outside of row 2. Silver Jewish start to the left elbow. We've got an interesting miss coming through. What will be a green flag wait, then a green flag, then trigger flag. Green white record, guys. One driver penalized for stepping on the line on the restart. Definitely need to be cautious of that. Green flag is in the air. Zero die getting shoved by Danny Bias. Inside lane now, beginning to work. 3 wide, 0 0, all the way to the bottom, to the bottom. 3 wide going to the bottom, turning left, bouncing off each other. Somehow Joe goes to the lead. Jack Wood in second. Joe Dodge trying to roll around third. 3 wide for the second spot. It's a trouble. One car spinning. Jack Wood. Should put away all the way but to the back to the way didn't make the water. Because but the man that would dominate here, Jack Wood, comes to a rest to number 3. Back under a caution flag. Tied 150. Jack Wood was in the middle, coming off the corner. The 3 wide. They were banging off one of another. It was the unfortunate one that got turned around. Got spun around 3 and 4 times. Made slight contact with the back of the car and then came to the rest of to number 3. We'll have another green white track over here overtime. My time winning Vice got the heat. Oh, she turned on the restart outside of the second row. Got 4 wide. Lots of positions. Opportunity to redeem herself on this one. One of the situation that you're Yep, green white checker take 2. See how many green white checkers we have here. Lenny Smutter backing up to not be red. The 4th car on the outside. She stick her front of the bottom, making the front on the instead of the back, but she would go to jam it all the way to the bottom. Stayed done with Jacko in front of block on that one. Saw the opportunity. I thought green white checker bring. If you're in that position, that put him second to the bottom racetrack, gets a really good restart. I'm launching really well for that zone. Gave Jack Wood a got to the inside and put him back a little bit. Got side by side to turn number 1. That with the outside. Caution here. Joe, the race leader, Daniel Dye is second, Jake Bubble in third, Governor Michelle is fourth, Jason Kitzberger in fifth, leading buses, Scott Shuffle back to sixth, Dave Affedition is seventh, with Lonnie Tipson in eighth, Lesbiano in eighth. 10th is 11th, we have Jack Wood, that'll change though. They brought the record out and putting his car on the record to number 3. Car 12 is Brian Fergus. Then we have Skirl McNutt, 13th. Bobby Earnhardt, 14th. Mac, which is 15th. 16th is Alex come like a makes it go 17, like my first 18, to come at Coffin. Let's cover running his Nazis out of the race and currently 20th is Curtis McFarlane. He joined the cause Andy Jancone at 21st. It's a Brendan Justo, Jay Brunson in 23rd. DL Race and Robbie Canelli in 25th. Bryce Smith 26th. Will Kimmel in 28th. Nate Moore 29th in the final car. And then run down a little bit ago. They talked about Shane Wilson that pit two in a race car that did not work on the customer before the race. They did an alternate strategy. They came out and put four brand new General tires on the Gavin Michelle car. Got to the strip on the back stretch. She reached out with the freshest tire. Pictures number 4, alternate strategy. We'll see how it played out for Gavin Michelle. As of now, have an opportunity on this restart. Point leader, Jay Bowman, the point leader. Yeah, Joe Morrison did caution for sure. He's first on the pension points. When they're off to the Kansas Talladega Speedway. Hey, what's up, Curtin Catch? Welcome, man. Thank you for being here. How have your streams been, Curtin Catch? Hopefully you got some good cards. Did you pull anything good this week? Haven't really been watching that much. They've been pretty eventful, but still fun. That's good, man. Yeah, I've been doing good. Starting to do some more race talk, some races. Started doing race talk not that long ago, and I like doing race talk, so I'm gonna keep doing them. Sure thing. I stop by when I can. Gotta see you guys those watch hours. Yeah, man, appreciate it. I think we're almost at 400 watch hours, so appreciate it, Cut. Freaking catch. Team white ticket for the ARCA MENARD series. Tide 150, 0 in the inside front row. Stacked to the right elbow. With the intense restart. See what they get this time by hitting the inside. Jack Wood not a part of this quarters. This back to the garage. Pinnacle Racing Group against Win. Right now it's still good racing and Sigma Moments Racing in the front row. The Giants will starting the inside. Stacked up double wide for the restart behind them. They work their way in down the bottom right track, flat the other Joe swings it side to side to clean up the tire, going down to the inside, looking to the restart of the afternoon to see if they can deal with the Toyota Joe putting a little mind games, pop the bottle, put in front of Daryl Dye in just a little bit. His car just now exiting the racetrack. Daryl Dye leads the outside lane. Here they come. Get ready for the green flag. Green flag is back up in the air. Him outside the not gonna good start car of Joe who gets a race lead. Daniel Dye quick in line in second. Daniel Dye following the leader Joe in number 1. Single foul. Third goes Lee Bison driving to 4. Lee Bison with a great restart. Went to the that Daniel Dye trying to chase down Joe. Joe to the bottom part. Up in the middle part of the racetrack, still covering separation here at Kansas. Time is up. White flag is in the air. Final lap of Type 150. Everyone in hot pursuit of Jack Woods for the make that G judge for the time. Final shot for Dino. Down to number 1 and 2. They jump the teams in the corner. Behind G Joe, the exit to number 2. Then does get it all the way. Has in the subway stays entire track. They go left and go back right. Joe to the bottom. Down middle groove to the arc the corner. Joe right there. Didn't die, sent it all the way. Then a couple way done a chicken flag 0-0. Wins the second career ARCA MENARD Series race. Won the season opener at Daytona. He runs race number 3 here at Kansas. Let's go 0-0. Winning the time 150. And I will finish second. Jay Bubble will finish third. Give him a show. And Laney Rice on the top 5. His crew chief talking with him. Second half had a lot of twists and turns. Kind of unfortunate situation with 28. Got a little bit free, mixed up with the lap car. Trying to figure out where she was gonna go into number 1. She would do a button the holding them off. A little bit too free, but a short one. They were pretty good. Being home with the guys. Let's go, Gio. Also, drive for Tricon. Let's go, Tricon. Trucks are not running this week, but Joey Darrell also runs the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for Tricon Garage. So, hell yeah, man. Let's go, Gio. That's where the M and M.E.Racing comes from, Mike. Works for Tricon, so shout out to Tricon. Plus, yeah, Gio is around where my dad is in Seacon, like he just said in the chat. Let's go, Gio Ruggiero. I'm gonna put on the M.E.Racing radio for you guys for the end of this. Come on, guys, let's get 10 likes. I think we need 2 more likes. Says we're at 8 likes on my, and let me refresh though real quick. Make sure. Let's get to 10 likes, guys, before we end it off here. Went 108 laps overtime, setting George to victory lane. And I think Lady Bite the top 5. Yep, it says we have 8 likes, so actually 2 more likes for 10 likes. I'm gonna put on that M.E.Racing radio for you guys for the rest of this. Let's go, Giro. Picking up the win. Gonna hear from the top finishers here at Kansas Speedway. Victory day here. Hoping winning continuing to blow here at Kansas. Are we doing O'Reilly or Rock Mards later? I don't know. Probably do Rock then, since it's always on flow and I can actually talk about it and give you guys a race talk and actually like watch it. Well, give you guys a race talk and that'll be pretty cool. I think probably do the Rock then if it's on below. Race of Champions. Oh yeah, that's right. Put on the M.E.Racing radio for you guys real quick. 1 second. Race of Champions mod tour. J Bubbles down there. Shared a little bit of video. J Bubbles comes out with a 3rd place. Put him butter top 5 day. Yeah, that should be a good race for sure.
I'm gonna put on that Marine radio for you guys for the
learning
rest of
curve.
this.
I feel like next one we go to, I'll definitely have some quicker up to speed stuff. But overall, top 3 day. Great points today for me, and our wins coming soon.
Yeah, he certainly is. Doug George,
Pierce is running in his demo car. Oh, that's awesome.
Jake Bowman with a top 5 finish. We talked about Gavin Boschelle and the busy day he has. He kicks it off with a 4th place run. Out there with everyone else on new tires, you had old tires. Then you're out there with new tires. What was the end of that race like for you, Gavin?
I thought it was pretty good. 18 was really, really good. So I made a few mistakes on my end on that last restart there that probably cost me a position or two. But the 18 was really, really good. Don't really think any of us had anything but for him. So, hats off to my guys, All Pro Toyota Racing. Really, really fast, hot ride today. Just a few bad calls and just few adjustments by me. But first mile and a half, we'll go on to Michigan now and keep digging.
Gavin Boschelle on to Michigan, but before that, he's going 410 sprint car racing here later this evening.
So we'll wait and see how that plays out as he goes sprint car racing. Steve Post told that story a little bit earlier here today. Gio Ruggiero, a race winner, got done celebrating with all the fans out here on the front side at the Tri-Oval. Pretty good crowd on hand for a morning start race, finishing obviously here in the afternoon in Kansas.
Of course, we got Cup practice and qualifying coming up, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Kansas Lottery 300 later today. While we wait for Gio to get to victory lane, let's give you the full field rundown. Gio Ruggiero wins, Daniel Dye second, Jake Bowman third, Gavin Boschelle fourth, Laney Weiss was fifth, Jason Kitzmiller sixth, with Jade Abadizian in seventh, Monty Tipton in eighth, Thomas Annunziata in ninth, and Destiny Spurlock in 10th.
Ryan Vargas was 11th, and Squirrel McNutt was 12th. Bobby Earnhardt was 13th, Matt Kemp 14th, Alex Clubb finished 15th, and Michael Maple 16th. Jeff McConey was 17th, Jack Wood 18th, Tacoma Koga 19th, and Cletus McFarland was 20th.
Andy Jankowiak was 21st, Isabella Robusto was 22nd, Braden Laster 23rd, D.L. Wilson 24th, Robbie Keneally was 25th, Brad Smith 26th, Craig Pellegrini was 27th, with Will Kimmel and Nate Moeller finishing in 28th and 29th, respectively. Let's go to victory lane.
Gio Ruggiero down here picking up the win. Gio, just when all hope was gone, you ended up with another opportunity. How did the end of that race play out and give you a chance to win this race back?
Yeah, had a good restart there at the end. Just needed to execute. I felt like, struggled a little bit on the short and long run there at the end of the race, and just had to make it happen. So really thankful for all the guys on this 18 crew, man. They're so badass, and they worked really hard at this. So didn't want to come here and finish third.
Had a little bit of a mix-up there with the lap car. Just kind of describe from your perspective what happened there to bring out that caution.
Yeah, just kind of got misjudged there. I thought she was not sure if she was going to the top or the bottom, and they kind of just went in there in the middle and got into her. So unfortunate that happened, but luckily we won the race.
Finally, that restart when you started third, what was the feeling? What was the move? Just describe when you set that up. What was that like to go to the bottom like you did?
Yeah, I was feeling very calm, honestly. At that point of the race, it's my race to win. So just glad that I could execute and pull that move off there to get to the lead. I felt like I was really strong on restarts all day. Last year we ran the night race here, and I lost on a restart from spinning the tires. So just needed to learn from that mistake, and definitely won the race from it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gio Ruggiero, I'll tell you what, he's down here in Victory Lane, one of the hardest working drivers in the garage area, and he is back in Victory Lane here at the ARCA MENARD Series at Kansas.
Gio Ruggiero has won 2 of the first 3 races in the ARCA MENARD Series 2026 campaign after winning the season opener down at Daytona Beach, Florida. Don't forget, coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Motor Racing Network back here live at Kansas Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series practice and pole qualifying for tomorrow's Advent Health 400. And then later this evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time to be exact, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series will race the Kansas Lottery 300, and you can hear that right here on MRN. Big thanks to Steve Post, who covered everything on the pit lane, to Tim Catalfamo in turns 1 and 2, and Jason Toy in turns 3 and 4. On behalf of my broadcast team here in the booth, Todd Gordon and Mike Bagley, I'm Alex Hayden. We congratulate Gio Ruggiero. He's won the Tide 150 at Kansas.
Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Tide 150.
All right, guys. That's it, guys. For the Tide 150, Kansas Speedway. Gio Ruggiero picks up the win here. Pretty awesome to see Giovanni Ruggiero pick up the win. He also runs for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in Tricon. What I say, Joe Morrison's back. What's up, Joe? You literally just did talk about politics. Dude, you're funny. You're funny. I got stuff to say, brother. Hey, what do you want to say? Say it. You're only making yourself be embarrassed. Do it for Dale? Hell yeah. That's actually good. Hey, you said something good for once. Do it for Dale. Alright, guys. On that note, guys, I'm gonna end it here. But I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys over for modifieds. Peace out.